Hi everyone, this is Kilzhot 99 Gang. This is Play Dead Live, and this is a evening with Kilzhot. It's going to be a rather relaxed evening. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk a little bit about the farm. We're going to talk about the game. Just thought it'd be a good idea to have everybody just kind of take a step back, chill, appreciate each other. You know, we've had some pretty hot and heavy PvP matches lately. So it's, you know, when we do streams like this or we just have random chat, we realize what brought us all together in the first place. And certainly all the teamwork and all the you know, just gameplay. You guys are phenomenal, and I just want to hang out. And probably the more I drink, you guys are going to be even more phenomenal. It's just, you know, just going to be a nice laid-back stream. We are going to do, I know there's a creepy picture up on the screen. That is the farm. And we got a pretty cool bundle for you guys tonight. I did promise that we're going to do, you know, we're initially going to do a match. And so I did want to add the bundle because I know that Trigger had mentioned picking up the bundle, and then we added the additional one. And this is the newest piece of Merc gear. And that should be enough to kind of get you guys excited enough to collect that entire Merc set. It's really, really good. I didn't link it, but I got a feeling that there's other items today. And you know, I hate doing this because the Merc really is the centerpiece. It's the best item. It's the best PvP set we've ever done, and it continues to get better and better and better. But you're going to see some other items mixed in here that I think are going to be attention getters. There are a couple pets that are in here, some brand new items, and we'll get to those. And you know what? Let's get to them. Let's get to them and show everybody what we got. And then we are going to do a sneak peek of the farm. I'm going to show you guys inside the portal tonight. We're going to talk about some of the players, some of the things that you guys might be up against, and then we're just going to do a whole bunch of like random conversation. We got most of our players are here tonight. So I know some are already preparing for the next dance video, so I'm excited for that. Anytime you guys do that, it's pretty cool. I'm going to load up some music in a little bit, so our theme song from Ashley Jana is going to be phenomenal. That's our groove now. So let me show you guys just basically what's in the bundles, and then we'll find out what everybody's drinking, and just a little bit of something you're probably not expecting. So tonight, you know, I wanted to go big because we got the championship coming up on Monday, and not only the championship coming up on Monday, a couple people had messaged me and said, you know what, there's no games tonight, so the bundle's actually going to work as a restocking feature. That didn't really think of it like that. Nobody's using any items tonight, and they're going to get a chance to load back up. So let me go through kind of what this deal is tonight. The resin restore, always good. You will see resin restores in there occasionally. I do feel like there's going to be some pretty epic PvE battles over the next couple weeks. So it's quite possible we could have some death this Friday. We're going to go double up on the Elysium tape. And I'd gotten a message about pet bundles. So see those two big items there, the pet bundle and the moss grenades? Those are 5 packs. So that's 5 pet revives, and that's 5 moss grenades just in that top area. So the top area alone is 13 items right there. So 5 pet reses then and there. So if you got some epic pets, and there you go. Let me draw your attention to the lower left-hand corner, and you'll probably notice there's a brand new elixir mixed in there. So certainly we saw the power of the arrows for those snipers. We're going to keep the brace globs in there just to build a little bit more inventory. Some people are up to 6 or 8, but they do go fast. So you got the 2 pine arrows, brand new elixir. It's called Elixir of Assault, and it is double the elixir of anger. Pretty cool stuff. D8 assault. So the anger is D4. You got rust arrows. 3 of your globs right there. I wanted to put the purple tape back in there because of AP. And of course, you know, people love the Rojo. And sometimes people love to fizzle the Rojo. But there's going to be something introduced today that is going to keep those people that love their Wargos and love their Roses and love their Mad Maxines We're adding something else today, and I'll get to that in a minute. We've got gold armor wax, 2 max grafts, silver skins, and in the second bundle, did want to get you guys back in all your faction grenades, Pearl, Torso, Frenzy, and you've got 6 TS-15s in that bottom corner. And now let's get to some of the crazy stuff, because we've got Heal and Seal, we've got Heal Brew, Bionic Torso Teal. Check out this blue bundle over on the right. ATT 20, Bionic Torso Sapphire. Red Psycho was a little bit of a surprise for you guys the other night, so I love Red Psycho. The other 3 globs that gives us the total of everything. And a brand new AP5. There it is. Notice the bottom right-hand corner. If you can't see it, enlarge your screen. That is the Rambo AP5. So you got a Rojo AP4, and you got a Rambo AP5. Of course, you got the Flux in there, and you also got the Noir. So Ammo Noir gives you that debuff remover. Ammo Flux will cut right through Seal. Rojo was the strongest AP bullet in the game, and now Rambo is the strongest. And of course, all of these bundles do get Cosmos Collection, but if that was it, it would be a phenomenal night. But that's not it. We got even more lined up. We've got the Omega. The Omega is crafted after your very own Deadly Dimes. Omega starts out as a pet, will go in and hit, then turns into human form, and then we'll hit a wall. And then we've got something you guys have never seen before. This is the first of the pink ladies. This is Rizzo. And the only way you're getting Rizzo is to pick up the entire set of bundles. Rizzo is not in your standard bundles. And Rizzo does something no other grenade has ever done. It's a D12 that adds a permanent damage modifier of 5 points. So, you want to start stacking damage on your opponent? Start hitting them with Rizzos. I throw a Rizzo at Ray. He's getting plus 5 damage the rest of the match. Somebody else hits him with a second Rizzo. He's taking plus 10. You know when it drops off? Drops off when you die. Doesn't drop off at end of cycle. But Rizzos are going to build up damage in a hurry. You've got ways to do toxic damage buffs. You've got ways to do additional AP. Now you could probably add Red Sue and Rizzo and make for a pretty lethal combination. And here's the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Ross. And I wanted Ross to be shared, but I didn't want Ross to be really discussed. Ross is a badass orangutan. He puts the G in orangutan because he's an OG. So I want you to think Nolan for a minute. But instead of Nolan, how about an orangutan that has his own war go? You drop Ross, and on turn number 2, he will fire an AP shot and light you up on turn 2. So you got to drop him. You can't use him right away. And he comes equipped with his very own Wargo, and he can fire. He only gets 1 shot, but he can fire Rambo. He can fire Rojo. He can fire Flux. He can fire Noir. So look out, because Ross, you thought, yeah, Ross, that pretty pink border, yeah, he's going to be a dancing chimp. No, he's not. He is going to fire a Wargo at you. Now, by Wargo, I mean he cannot fire globs. He cannot fire plasmas. He can only fire one AP shot. And the damage will come out of the ammo will come out of your inventory. You have to have it. You don't have to have a Wargo. He's got his own. And after he fires a shot, he will disappear. So I'm pretty sure he might be a target, but he is another target, right? I mean, you can target Nolan, you can target Rod, you can target Ross, but you can't target all of them. So certainly, this is going to be something that he doesn't come in armor, strong armor Moonshot, of course. I mean, he's a pet. Pets can die. But there's also ways to protect your pets. And I'm pretty sure we're either going to see, I see you, Father Ron. Thank you, sir. See, you're either going to use a mustard bomb on him, and somebody's going to use a Marty and keep him alive, or you're going to use a psycho, an extra psycho, to prevent the damage from going through, which is one less psycho that you're going to have when somebody shoots a bullet at you. So you could shoot someone with Rose and drop Ross that turn, and next turn you could shoot him with Rose and Ross could shoot him with Rose. There's only so much you can prevent. So I certainly think it's going to spice the game up a little bit for everybody. And let's not forget the latest piece of Merc gear. And again, it is probably the strongest, most balanced piece of Merc gear we've ever rolled out. Remember, Merc gear by default is H4D4. So that means this gear's total stats are going to have probably more of a combination of good total stats than anything we've had. We've got H4, D6, B3, AP1. So you've got health, you've got D6, which is, just a couple of months ago, D6 would have been crazy for any type of gear. Before we rolled out Tier 2, D6 would have been amazing on its own. But then you've got base 3, and you've got, of course, that all-important point of armor pen. So, certainly, I think the Merc gear is going to be a factor. I mean, obviously, we got matches coming up next week. So those Merc sets, pretty good. And brand new AP, brand new pets. Certainly Valar, and Valar, you've got every piece of it so far. So I know how good your gear looks. And I've seen how hard you hit. So, tonight I want to do something just really, really cool for you guys. And as I said, even the silver bundle alone, I saw, was that, I saw Beasley. Look at that. I see you up there, Beasley, picking up the Rizzos, picking up Omega, Ross, Merc gear, and 5 pet revives to keep those 2 pets really, really going strong. And I thought, why not? Let's do a fantastic bundle on a night where it's very very casual stream. Appreciate that, B-Dub. B-Dub's finishing the bundle for football. And just from a competitive standpoint, Trigger has picked up both bundles as well. I won't, Angel, I won't go through what happened, but Angel picked it up. She's good. So we've got, wow, who all picked up these pretty crazy bundles tonight? Let me get a quick reread and start from the top. So we got, I know Bones, Kel, Deadly Dimes, Twisted Sisters, Tiny, the Tank of the Year, Busy B, picking up, that's a pretty awesome bundle, Busy, thank you. Deadly Dimes, picking up for football, B-Dub, covering the rest, Killer Beasley, Father Ron, Silver and Gold, and I am drinking Father Ron's whiskey tonight, so I think Father Ron needs he needs the piece of Mercury, right? I mean, Ron picked up 2 of them. Let's finish Father Ron's bundle tonight too, and cheers. Canada, I'm trying to sing the national anthem while I'm drinking Crown Royal for Father Ron, and thank you so much, Father Ron. Appreciate everything you do for the game, and certainly you're appreciated, and hopefully you can unleash some Ross on somebody, and that sound is me. It is me drinking, so all right, and I don't know that everyone knew this. I did message the people that were playing. So it wasn't just because we were going to be missing some players tonight, but I did take that into consideration. I know Anthony was working. I know Gina's traveling. But when I found out some of the people that weren't going to be here, oh, there's Anthony. There you are, Emperor. Anthony was 50-50. But and Villar, I'm sorry, Villar. How can I skip over Villar? I kind of mentioned it, but I didn't mention it in the recap. But I know Villar picked up all the bundles too. But it wasn't as much as Jim Stone in the house. What's up, Jim Stone? I'm going to own the scheduling error because I really didn't think of the impact of the game the other night. And look, it's mentally taxing. I get it. It was mentally taxing for me. But it didn't make sense for me to have Vox to come back and play again tonight and play twice in 1 week. So there were several things that really factored into it. It is a big match. It is for third place. And that might not sound like a big deal, but it's a big deal for me. And it's going to be a big deal when we get to faction rewards as well. But I know these players want to give it their all, whether it's for first place or whether it's for third place. And I know it'll be a good match. But I wanted to give them a little bit of time to sort of, get that last game out of their system. Hang out, appreciate each other. It's one thing I know about both factions from the other night. Man, oh man, did everybody want to win. And then what was really cool is the next day, it was like everybody was like, okay, yeah, we're all one big group again. And I love that about this group. So Yeah, it would have been a little tough, I think, to do that quick turn and have Vox here. I know Sly was ready. Sly's had a little bit more time to prepare for it. But I just think we'll get a better, I think we'll get a more fun, more energetic, more entertaining game next Wednesday night once these groups sort of had a little bit more time to relax and think about the game a little bit. So we got, there are more powerful items out there. This was the best that I could do going into Monday and Wednesday. So, and I know you guys are still working on some of the other items, but I wanted some items tonight that made sense, that could be incorporated both days, but weren't so complicated where we threw out a whole bunch of new stuff that it would take forever to play test. Like, for example, the Elixir of Assault. Pretty straightforward, right? If you use Elixir of Anger, now you want to use Elixir of Assault because now you can get more damage. What Elixir of Assault does, though, is now it's going to make you think whether or not you want to go Elixir of Swole, whether or not you want to go Elixir of Turbo. Now, do you want that 10 minutes of Rush, or do you want that D8 for the entire match? So I wanted to give you guys something you really think about. Rambo is kind of a no-brainer. Obviously, Rambo is a step up, but some people could, they could fizzle your AP, your Rojos. Now you got Rambos to fall back on. So you're probably almost always going to have some weapon in play. So I think fizzles will probably target smokes and potions a little bit more than ammo. And I'm comfortable with that. Omega, I wanted to put Omega in here because, honestly, not a lot of people got Omega in the pack opening. There were only a couple people that got it, and I thought it's a pet. I told you guys going to be new words tonight. A pet and a play is a plet. It's a pet that I thought should be put in play. Much like Boss is. Boss could go in and target the flag. We haven't seen as much flag play. You will see ways to go after the flag in the farm. So I think that'll become more of a gameplay. I just want there to be multiple things you think about. There are going to be some ways that you can go after the flag, go after the wall, and also attack your opponents. So it's gonna spruce it up just a little bit more in the farm. Rizzo again. Rizzo is just me being just wanting more death in wars, I guess. I like when there's action and when people are attacking each other and they're looking for ways to kill each other. I think Red Sue was certainly was a good play. It beefed it up a little bit more, put you on your heels a little bit. I think Rizzo is going to be one of those things that's going to make you think, again, do I red-blue this and stop this grenade, or do I want a permanent damage multiplier on me the rest of the game? That's a pretty big call, right? I mean, you're walking around basically with a mark on you, adding additional resources. So you got to think about that. Ross is just cool. I mean, who does not want an orangutan? I'm saying Tang. I love Tang. It's an orangutan. So there he is. He's just awesome. Everybody wants that. And what would be more rewarding than killing your opponent with an ape? I mean, that seems like the ultimate. You wouldn't even have to troll somebody in stream. It would just be like one of those memories that go down in PDL history, right? Like 2 seasons later, I'll message Father Ron and say, remember that time I killed you with an ape? I mean, you're just not going to forget it. I would probably just look for ways to make that happen. But yeah, Ross is going to be a great play. And then, look, the Merc gear it's the best of the best. You're going to continue to see, we saw just a minute ago, Sheila Beasley picked up a piece of Merc gear. B-Dub just took Football Master up, picked up a piece of Merc gear. Father Ron. Even if it's 1 or 2 pieces of that Merc gear, it's big because the stats on this are so good. Now, if you've got a duplicate piece, say Merc gear and Epic Battle gear, maybe you want to start contacting people and trying to make some trades for a piece here, a piece there. There are people who still have Epic Battle gear. And now that they have full Merc, I'm sure they'd be willing to listen. And nothing like killing somebody with an orangutan. All right, let's jump into something here. Man, you guys pretty excited about the dance video? Who's preparing for the dance video? Let's get a quick show of hands of who might be doing a Halloween dance video. I love it. I love the competition. I mean, we might get like 15 people in our next dance video. I mean, I loved putting this last video together, but I would just love to have all of you dancing to this music. So, again, let me give you guys, we'll take a quick break, and let me give you guys like a quick sound bite. And by the way, if you guys want to download this song on iTunes, I do own the rights to it, so certainly feel free to download it. It's cheap, and it is Ashley Jana, Electricity. You can listen to it here, or you can get it for a couple bucks. But we're going to put your dance video together with this song, and then we'll be right back.
This is what we see, we can make some noise. Take a
right, you can't do any better than finishing up with Buzz. So I know we get a lot of questions about PvP, and I could probably do some of these moves, but I'm not a fan of Brace. You guys probably know this. The bounty hunter backstory is very anti-Brace. So when I see all this purple up on the screen, I'm not a big fan of it. Now, it doesn't mean that the group, because not everybody in the group should be a fan of the bounty hunter. In fact, some shouldn't even want him around. But when you see these different characters, there are some very unique attributes when you see Crowley. Crowley is the only wizard. Karis is the only spirit. So you got a couple classes there that's unlike anything that you guys have ran into. Now, could some of these players perhaps make their way in some matches? Maybe. But I did mention this with the leaders today. We are going to talk about this. So, what part of PvP and faction wars do you guys most like? What are the things that there's no way you would change it? We've worked on it. We rolled it out. We worked on some things to get everybody in the game, get good gameplay. But what are some of the things that you really enjoy about the war battles? You've got the opportunity to defend. We upped the points on defense. Certainly the walls have varying degrees of health. No, I'd rather you lie, Jason. What do you mean, honestly? Working with a team. Wider usage of items. I agree with that. We saw some things with faction wars where it gave everybody a chance to experiment with some things, especially early in the season. The one thing I guess that was a little disappointing to me is that early in the season, there weren't more of the sampling of items, right? I mean, wouldn't you think week 1, week 2, that's where you just kind of throw a bunch of stuff out there and say, yeah, I just want to see how this works. And I think it was a miss by some teams. Fly Rod, the whole group fighting together on Friday nights. So here's something, and I'm not telling you guys a secret that you probably shouldn't know. So what was the big reveal on Monday night? Only one person made this play. But there was a big, big opportunity. So what does wall health mean? Does anybody know what wall health even means and what the really cool dynamic to that is? So give me the two most power. See, every scenario has a different catch, right? So what do you think were the two most powerful items on Monday night? I talked to one or two people about this. So if I talk to you about it, don't answer. Because I want everybody. Yes. Magic Mike. Magic Mike and Rod. It's too late now. Because when the wall is strong, and I showed you guys this 2 weeks ago. See, this was where I didn't really give you something that I didn't try to prepare you for. So a couple of weeks ago, when you guys were fighting Max, I was just healing the wall. Like, we had people throwing TS-15s at the wall, and I was standing there throwing Magic Mikes. It was easier for me to rebuild your wall than it was for you to tear the wall down. So when you see that situation where a wall after the first couple turns seems extremely hard to get down, the whole idea is that you've got to shift your strategy very quickly. Like, Trigger was the only person that threw Magic Mike, and good thing for Ark, they stopped it with the grenade. Otherwise, if 3 or 4 people would have called onto that and started throwing Magic Mikes, it would have been, well, one team would have gained a quicker advantage. I'm not saying one team would have won or lost, right? But if Ark would have said, hey, let's go over and throw some Magic Mikes, they would have gotten a lead in a quick. And same thing with Vox. So the match was really there for the taking, because it wasn't really one of those where you had to have a ton of grenades. It was one of those matches where you had to kind of pick up on what the move was mid-game. So it sort of was meant to test like you're on the fly. Is anybody going to be able to switch their strategy up? And I think some people might have been expecting a stronger wall. That wall was unbelievably strong. Now on the flip side, you guys saw a match between Mir and Sly was the weakest walls we ever had. I mean, Mir took down like 4 walls. So you can't really be lured into a way of thinking that, hey, we're going into this and we're just going to do this and that's all we can do. You kind of have to have we're going to do this, but we might need to change and do this, and if that doesn't work, we need to change and do this. So it prevents kind of one-trick ponies. It prevents tunnel vision. And my goal really is to make every match unique to where it challenges you guys. And when you get to the farm, it's going to become more unique, because there's going to be more ways to get points. No, you can't use C weakness on it, but once the first couple grenades hit, you'll know. You'll be able to tell, like, okay, I didn't take down 4 blocks this time, I only took down the black block. Yeah, it's not really a weakness, it's just it's a different set of health that's predetermined. All good questions. They're all good questions. So, with tonight, I don't think there's anything we rolled out tonight that's going to be game changing. It might alter your planning just a little bit, but I would be more interested to see who gets Scorn over the weekend. I think a cosmic item like Scorn could be a very, very big deal. when, for example, you know that Judas is out there, you know that Axis is out there, I refuse to release either one of those until after the finals. So I can tell you, Axis is going to have the ability to move your defender. You're going to have the ability to take points away from them right off the bat. If that's what your activation is. So if Deacon has Axis, and I activate my ability on Rei-Jin, I can pull that character out of their zone. I can pull their bomber over here to me. If I want to gain a quick 20 points, I can pull their defender over here to me. So Axis is obviously strong to be able to do that, because any item that can give you instant points is a big deal. Now, if I would have rolled it out last week, would people have adapted to it? Yeah. But to me, it's something that it's a new mechanic, and I really don't want to change a whole lot of new mechanics. I'll give you a pet that shoots a gun. That's not a new mechanic. You're going to get hit harder by armor pen, and you got Psycho that can stop it. It's just a matter when you use Psycho. But moving people, when we haven't moved people for the last 2 months, is a total change in strategy and gameplay. But when we go to the farm, no, they come to you. Axis is going to pull them to the Axis. So, I mean, Jigsaw might want to pull Crowley over here. That's a pretty rough spot, right? I mean, if Jigsaw has Axis, then it's going to be pulled to that player. Maybe Moonshot, but not in a typical there really isn't a lot you can do versus legendary usage. Somebody uses Mirror Mask, somebody uses Phantom Cape. Legendaries aren't really meant to be countered. I'm sure there'll be well, I mean, there's ways to prepare for it. I'll put it that way. And I'm going to leave it at that, because I think that's something the groups need to talk about and figure out on their own. So I'm not going to give you like every mechanic. I will just tell you, Axis will target a player who's chosen and will move that player. If somebody's flying, Axis will target a flying player. If somebody's in a zone, it will target them. And it's almost like a tractor beam. It's going to bring them to that area. Now, you may not always want what you get. I mean, how many people would like to, tractor beam Buzz over here? Buzz might be super, super geared. So, Julie said, what are the zones? So the zones are pretty straightforward. This is the defensive zone over here, behind this little fence, over by the scoreboard. This down here with Jigsaw is a defensive zone as well. Runs from here, this whole little canyon in this area. So Jigsaw will be right here in front of this pillar. He can't be up here. He's got to stay kind of in this little ravine. I think I called it a ravine and a canyon. Next I'll call it a dried up stream. Anyway, you know what it is. It's this little area here. And it goes up to about right here. It's possible people could leave the zone. They'll lose the points. But I think because it's more open, you're probably going to have... I think your defenders are going to need to be really, really smart defenders. I think they're going to have to know when to sacrifice the points and when to try to get a few points. I see the defender position as not a static, let's stay here for 9 rounds, get 180 points. I see it as, we're pretty much under control. Let me kick back here, get 40, 60, 80 points, and then sometimes you're on the attack, sometimes you're doing something different. Defenders cannot hit the wall. In order to hit the wall, defender needs to be in this area here. So let me go ahead and answer that question. Defenders can still cast pets. A defender right here could target the bomber. A defender here could target the bomber. We're not going to give them line of sight at the back end of the church. So a defender in this zone here, the assumption is they have a shot on the bomber if they choose it. These guys will have line of sight issues because of where they start out. So they would have to move up or move around. Not move much, but defenders will get ranged attacks on bombers. That's going to be a little bit of a difference. No. So here's the way portals work. A portal is going to be, you need to plan your portals out pretty well. Because you're going to get the opportunity to go in the portal. Because you're going to be the first one to choose, right? First player may not want to go in the portal. Second player may not. But at some point, somebody's going to say, I want to fight. I want to fight this thing out. So because you want to fight, it's like a mini fight. So there's going to be 2 portals. One's going to be a singles portal. One's going to be a doubles portal. You cannot be a part of 2 portals in one game. And we really want to get good PvP. So some of the strategy would be, who's going to fight in the singles portal and who's going to fight in the doubles portal. So for example, here's the way this would work out. Let's say I'm a very aggressive player, which I am. I'm going over to the portal. And when I go in, you have to choose your tag team. So you choose both players. I will choose my tag team partner after you choose both players if it's a doubles portal. So if I decide to go in singles, I'm going to say, all right, I'm going in the singles portal. Then the captain of the team is going to decide who they want to put in for the doubles portal. So if Karis is the captain, she may say, I'm going to pick Crowley. Well, Karis is on the bench. You don't have to even be in the match. You can pick a bench player. So let's say I go into the portal. And then Karis says, you know what? We're both on the bench. Let's just leave the starters out here and let them watch a little bit. Let them save up on some resources. So Karis says, you know what? Me and Patch will fight. And then I say, all right, well, I got my bench over here, but you know what? I really want Jigsaw to join me in the portal. Actually, let's say I didn't pick Jigsaw. Let me pick Deacon. I'll pick Deacon. That's who I have set up. So then we're going to get that tag team feel again. This could be the map, could be a different map. So now we're going to get into some team PvP. Now it'll likely be 3 rounds, 4 rounds. I'm still working out the details. Now, you might say, all right, well, fine. You know, I go in there, I'm a tank, and I've got Evoke. I can pretty much heal for 3 rounds. Sure, you can. And you might get a little mini victory, and you'll get some points out of this. So going in the portal does not necessarily mean that you're going to go in there and really like kick somebody's ass and then get a whole bunch of points. You may want to go in the portal to call their bluff and get their best players in there to burn all their cooldowns. If somebody uses Psycho in the portal, it's used. If somebody uses a prevention spell in the portal, it's used. So it's going to be extended PvP, so there's a strategy. You might want to go in there and just make them burn everything they got, and you may lose. So I've not finalized the total amount of points yet. But I think it's going to be 200, 250 point battle. But if you go in here and you lose all of your cooldowns and you gain 250 points or 200 points, it may or may not be worth it. So I don't think portals are going to be, let's just go in here and not do anything. I think people in the portals are going to go in there and they're going to blow a bunch of resources. I think they're going to go in there and really try to win, try to get a kill, because what's even better? What's even better is to go in there and to make your opponent use all their cooldowns, and then you win, and you actually walk out of there with points. When you utilize the portal, I think is also going to be strategic. You may have people that are kind of afraid to go in there at the beginning. Or you may have people say, you know what, let's just go right in here, right off the bat, get some battle going, put them on their heels a little bit. So, if Buzz goes in the portal, then the captain of the team, let's say the captain of the team is Jigsaw. Jigsaw could say, I'm going to send Lurch and I'm going to send Ann. He could say, I'm going to send Deacon, I'm going to send Lurch. So once a team goes into the portal, the other team gets to pick their 2 players they want to send in. Now, let's say the obvious, or what you might think to be the obvious. Let's say I'm playing Mirror, and I go in the portal, and I'm like, you know what? I know Bonnie and Amanda are going to go in the portal, but they may not. So I may go in there, and I may be expecting, all right, let's get Twisted Sisters in there, get them fighting, burning through stuff, because then when we go out of this map, and if we happen to edge them in points, let's say we beat them. You know, we've got good heals. Or I might want to send in, let's say I got 2 priests, I might want to send in 2 priests. And then you're stuck fighting me, and all I really got to do is out-health you for 3 rounds. See, that's what I'm getting to. So this portal at the church is the doubles portal. This portal is the singles portal. But, see, when I go in there, I don't know who Bonnie's going to pick. So maybe she says, you know what, we got to get an early jump here. Let's go with what we know. And I go in here, and then Jigsaw goes in there. Well, I'll pick later. And she goes, all right, we're taking the Twisted Sisters in there. I might say, you know what, okay, that's fine. Let me bring my priest because I'm going to need some extra healing. But let's say she does something a little different. Let's say, you know what, I'm going to wait and save myself because later on in the match, somebody else might go to the singles portal. And then she can pick herself if she wants to pick herself. So what she might do, for example, is she may pick, all right, let me send Amanda and Kel. So after she picks Amanda and Kel, I might have been planning to go in here with Jigsaw, and I might say, you know what? Sniper Medic, not a great matchup for me with Warrior Sniper. Maybe a better matchup would be Priest Sniper. So now I can pick my second partner after I know who they're committing to. The other strategy is going to be whether or not you want to activate the singles portal first. Or you may want to activate the singles portal and leave the doubles portal for them. I may say, you know what? I don't care who they got. I'm the best PvPer here. Boom. Pick whoever you want. I don't care. I'm going to beat you. And maybe I do. You may say, okay, well, we're going to send the ninja. So now I got a sniper ninja battle. So your best player who's feeling pretty good, maybe they feel unbeatable, they could say, let me just go in and kind of call their bluff right out of the gates. Jigsaw may say, you know what? I'm a warrior. Everybody's going to have a tough matchup with a warrior. Except a tank. A tank versus warrior would probably be a good matchup, I would think. Because tanks have such high health. One heal potion could pretty much keep them, in a good spot. And maybe the tank on their final turn gets a red Toxie and wins the health battle and gets away with the points. There's a lot of ways to really time it. Like I said, I haven't decided whether it's going to be 3 turns or 4 turns. That's what I'm looking to do. They'll go relatively quickly because you guys know how fast singles and doubles can go. So I'm trying to think of any other situations that might, some of it we're going to figure out as we go. I think that like with, we first rolled out Faction Wars, we did that Saturday, and I said, the first couple matches is probably going to be a little sloppy. And I don't think they were. I think they were a little slow because people were trying to learn it, but I think they were good. And now that we've done a season of Faction Wars, I think all the attacking and all the move, turn-based is going to be fine. But your strategies are going to change a little bit. Whether or not it makes sense to go after the flag. Flags are going to be more points. So I am going to change that to make it a little bit more enticing. There's going to be ways to go after the flag that are going to be outside of the norm. So more to come on that probably this weekend. You're going to be able to move defenders. So losing this 20 points say from Axis, another situation. BT7s. The ability to project defenders. I'm likely going to add that mechanic. The more I thought about it with defenders and ways to sort of change points, I like being able to throw a BT7 at somebody and knock them out of their zone. But we had already established that that wasn't going to happen. But you can still do Vile Smoke. I think Vile Smoke was a nice workaround to just knocking people out of zone, because now you got to sort of make them fight a little bit. But the ability to knock them out of the zone, use Vile Smoke, use proxy bombs, you'll likely have the ability to project people out of areas. Now, would that work on a bomber? Yes. But the thing with BT7s, let's say Bounty Hunter comes over here, throws the BT7 at Regen. We kind of get him up in the air, and then he falls here. Well, he's still in his zone to hit the block. So I don't think you're going to see BT7s knock people like way over here. That's not the intent of it. But if I do come over here and throw a BT7 and he lands here, he's out of the zone. So these small areas, they're not going to come back in that area. So any BT7, if I go that route, is going to put them out of the zone, much like the Axis is going to as well. So I want to make defenders a more viable part of the game. I want to make flags a better strategy. And I want to make the portals really get people back to PvP, because I think we had so much fun with doubles and singles. So, I come in here and they pick Karis. All right, and then we go here. And I got Karis there. Karis is a Spirit Bounty Hunter in position. Turn number 1. I'm likely going to drop Seal Smoke. So I would drop a Seal Smoke. Probably going to play Red Sue. And just for good measure, I'd probably creep around the corner and hit her with a Ammo Noir. So now I'd have Karis with a +5 toxic multiplier. I'd be surrounded by Seal Smoke. And I'd hit her for AP 15 and remove her debuff. So she would probably go Red Psycho, prevent the Noir, and then turn number 1. What's her play going to be from that perspective? I'm not going to tell you what all her turn's going to be, because I want her mechanics to be sort of slowly found out when you guys fight people from Brace. But I do like the 2-dimensional maps. I'm not specifically going to go over gear. I will tell you, Karis has a lot of good stuff up her sleeve. Yeah, the only problem with that, Moon, certainly Moon says, how many people would Phantom Cape a Seal Smoke? Because here's the problem with that. you commit to that Phantom Cape of a Seal Smoke, and now you got no legendary. So we'll let that play out. So let's just say there's a player who really, really did not like that Seal Smoke, and they go, I'm going to Phantom Cape that. Okay, fine. Now, you go ahead and get your turn. You know, what's an early play? Red Finny. So she's going to play Red Finny more than likely. Something's just going to kind of harass me a little bit, make me attack it. And I got no Seal Smoke, so I got this pet. It's going to hit me for 15. Modified down to 10. So we know we can't do both things, but now I've got the opportunity. If she would have went Phantom Cape, what do you think I'm going to do on turn number 2? I've already called out her Psycho, and now I've got her Legendary out of play. So I'm going to go Max Mask. So I'm going to play Buck. And I'm going to hit her for AP3. And I'm going to Frenzy. And then activate Max Mask. So now that I've already called out her Psycho, and I would not play a Phantom Cape on a Seal Smoke because your Legendary is going to be tapped. Especially with a Seal Smoke, you can go Red Paw and double tap the Seal, or you could go Flux and break through the Seal anyway. So I'm going to go Buck, Frenzy, activate Max Mask, and then I'm going to hit her probably for, you guys can figure out the armor, you can figure out the stats. I'm going to hit her for 26 AP. Which is going to be about half of her AP. Slightly less than half, because of her base. It's going to be about slightly less than her base. So why is that important? Because now I'm on round 2, and I got an opponent who is already down to 50%. So now that she knows 1 or 2 more hits is going to finish her off, then she's compelled to go with some sort of healing. If it's a Heal Smoke, I'm going to go in Holy Grenade. If it's a Brew, which would be more likely, then there's really not a whole lot I can do about it, right? Except know that I've already got her on her heals because she's just blown a big heal spell or big heal potion. So, let's give her that. Let's say her base is down to 50%, big hit from Max Mask. I still got Red Finny here. So now she takes a turn to heal. So likely, I'm going to drop turn 3. I'm going to drop Red Aster. And I'm going to get rid of Red Finny. And then I'm going to hit her again. And then, more than likely, I'm going to drop probably Heal and Seal on turn 2. So now I'm surrounded by Heal and Seal. She's taken about 30-35% of her base life. And then if it's 3 turns, she's got 1 more turn. So if she throws the unholy grenade, that stops my heal and seal. Fine. If she doesn't throw the unholy grenade, I'm going to seal. And at the end of turn 3, I've got her down 35% in base. She's going to have me down 0% because the heal and seal is going to resolve. So I'm going to get the 10 points back that I lost from Red Finney. I'm going to seal myself. And if it's 3 rounds, I'm going to win the round. So what I mean by that is you got to have solo players that really know how to play 3 to 4 really good rounds of gameplay against any class. And I think I can beat any class. So you got to kind of have that mentality that if you're going to go in there and you're going to be the solo player, you really got to think, well, nobody's going to beat me, so I need to go in and get those points. So then I go back out of the portal. Players will go back. And then that portal is going to close. So, how many people, and look, you don't have to tip your hand right now. I think it's going to change. How many people think that they would go for the singles portal first? And how many people think that they would go for the doubles portal to make them pick their 2 players, and then you get to pick your second player? Because if you go in the singles portal, you can't go in the doubles portal. Yeah, and I think once again, that's the important part. The strategy is you get to see where they go. So you take one of your players, and they got to show their hand. They got to show both players that are going in, and then you get to pick that second person to go in there for doubles PvP. And in a lot of cases, all 4 players are going to live. But it's going to get down to damage. It's going to get down to health. So the strategy is to have higher health. Now, it doesn't mean that 2 really good players can't go in and kill one of your players. I've certainly seen people that had fairly low base go PvP, and two or 3 hits they were taken care of. They thought they had a little bit more mitigation than they did, or they were wearing PvE gear and they had good damage, but they couldn't take a couple AP hits. AP hits will scale up. Somebody mentioned this, might have been Nixie mentioned this a little bit ago. So, just like let's see. Just like before you go for the flag, you might want to drop a certain pet. Some of the other strategy is going to be, how long do you wait to go in the portal? And do you drop a pet so you've got that pet available whenever you go into the portal? Here's another strategy, is depending on where you're at in the cycle, your health is not going to reset when you go in. It's not going to reset when you come out. So that's going to be the other strategy, is if you're 85% going in and you choose yourself, or your opponent's at 100 and you say, okay, I'm going in, you're 85%, you go in the portal at 85%. If they beat you down to like 30 and you still win and you come out of the portal, we're coming out of the portal at 30. So there's a likelihood that the other team is going to finish you off when you come out of the portal. So there's going to be a lot of things that, that's the part of the game that I don't want you guys to get discouraged with. I don't want you to look at the game and say, well, I died. The idea in these wars are that players do die. And if you're uncomfortable killing players on the other team, I would say get comfortable, because that's going to be more and more of a narrative to win matches. Well, sometimes. There's going to be sometimes you got to hit the wall. There's going to be sometimes you got to defend. There's going to be a little bit of everything. If you die in the portal, it's going to be equivalent to you dying outside of the portal. So you will go to the bench. If you're already on the bench, it won't matter. Let's say the captain, somebody goes in the portal on cycle 2, and when the starters go in there, you just go to the bench. And you don't have to res and restore. But there's another strategy, right? So let's say Ragin and Buzz go in, and I kill Ragin in the portal. When we come out of the portal, he's at the bench, and one of these players is going to have to come over in the bomber position. So again, part of your strategy is going to be, who do you put in where? Yeah, and see here, that's the big picture, is the matches first and foremost should be fun. They absolutely should be, that should be your motivation. And winning should be fun, and losing should be entertaining, not heartbreaking. And losing to somebody that outplayed you should not be a big deal. And I'll give you an example. I played a lot of gaming. So I have played PlayStation, back when it was PlayStation, with people that have thrown controllers. That's one example. I have never played Monopoly with somebody that picked up and body slammed a Monopoly board. I've never played chess with anyone who wouldn't talk to me for 2 days after they lost a chess match. But I have played online games with people who have told me they were going to hunt me down and shoot me. So I've seen the whole spectrum of gaming. And I think that our game brings out the best and brings out the worst. It brings out the competitiveness and people want to win, and I love that. But it also brings out the teamwork. Sometimes it just takes a few hours for the teamwork to kick in. Because you play a good match and you give it everything you got and somebody just outplayed you on that day. And sometimes it takes a few hours just to sort of regroup and say, all right, I'll get you next time. But I do think that when you get into somebody's going to win the Asylum Monday night. And that faction is going to own the Asylum. They're going to get a little bonus for it. They're going to get a faction boost as well for their little custom map when they have professions. And then, you know what? We're going to move on to the farm. And you guys are going to be competing for the farm. And whoever wins the tournament is going to get a faction boost from the farm. But once the Asylum is done, you can't really do anything about it until the next time the Asylum's a battleground. So don't dwell over it. Just figure whoever won it really played that battleground better than other people. So when you get to the farm, there's going to be different strategies to the farm. Whoever wins it is going to earn it. But you can already see it's different. There's a different mechanic to it. Some people may be really good at the Asylum, and now this portal might change that. Or the fact that there's going to be legendary weapons that can pull people out of a zone. Or that now you know that you got to pay attention to wall health. Because in some cases, a Magic Mike could be stronger than a TS-15 fully loaded. So, do I think the walls are going to be a factor? Absolutely. We know the walls can score points. But, I mean, look at this. Poor Patch. All right, here we go. So we've got Patch, Buzz, Ransom, Crowley, Deacon, Bounty, Limbo, and Jigsaw. So Patch loves to hit walls. All he loves to do is hit walls. That's his thing. Scores a lot of points for his team. But these three players here don't like people that attack walls constantly. So, turn number 1. Limbo. Going to go in here, toss a BT7 at Patch. All right. Patch is off his wall. Now, he can certainly still hit the wall on his turn, but more than likely this is what's going to happen. I wouldn't even do that. I'd probably come in and I'm going to drop Red Sue. I'm going to play Red Sue on Patch because he's going to be dealing with that the rest of the game or until he dies. So Red Sue, and I'm going to go BT7. So now I got him +5, and I got him dropping right here. All right, then let's say Buzz. Buzz may say, look, I don't want Patch to be down here. I'm going to go get in position here. Now, you'd think Buzz would do the same thing, but we got a priest over here. Might be able to mitigate some of it. Maybe he's got Eye Ring to cast a pet on him. Maybe he goes Repel. So many things he can do. But now I've got this bomber who's really not focused on the wall. He's focused on living. So Ransom's over here. he's thinking long term, 2 or 3 turns down the way. He's going to go slide over here. He's going to drop Pet Repel Smoke. So Buzz and Ransom both get Pet Repel Smoke. And then he's going to go ahead and he's going to go Ted and hit Deacon for AP3. Now, Bounty Hunter sees Patches in a bad spot. So a good play here, and I don't want to overplay it, but I'm going to go ahead and Frenzy Potion, and I'm going to go ahead and just pop him with a Ammo Noir, and I'm going to get rid of his elixir. Don't know what elixir he'd use. Let's say it's immune. He really wants his immune elixir, so he's going to psycho that. And that's all good. And I'm going to drop a legendary pet. Probably Ember, because I like Ember's mechanic. So I'm going to play a legendary pet. I'm going to Frenzy, and I'm going to go ahead and hit him just to draw that psycho out. So what I'm not doing, I don't want to go like all AP, because if I do that, and load up on one attack, all he's going to do is he's going to divert some of it. So I want to kind of chip away and chip away and chip away and then get my big hit on him. So the defender back here, he kind of knows what we're doing. We got his bomber in a lot of trouble. So Crowley's got to be a step ahead. So he's going to go ahead and drop some Seal Smoke. Because what he's going to set up is probably a 2-turn Essence play. So he's going to seal. Now typically, what you'd like to do is whoever is going to be your Essence play should be sealed. Now you can certainly go double strike attack on them, but it's going to make it tougher. So defenders should be thinking protection. Whoever you have as a defender should have the ability to swap health with one person that gets in a lot of trouble, like Patch. But at the same time, your defender can put heat on people. So we've got these two, Buzz and Ransom would have Pet Repel. So that's going to give them a free attack. If I drop Seal Smoke, I can't go Pet Repel Smoke. I can't double smoke. But I would likely slide Crowley up here, and I'd get a purple cube shot. So I'd go purple glob on Deacon. Now, Deacon's most likely not going to like that. So again, instead of losing a turn and having some random effect, I'm probably going to go Psycho on that as well. And the reason I would get 1 or 2 Psychos in play is I never want to finish a match and have an unused Marty or an unused Blue or an unused Psycho. Now I'm not saying I would use them all in the first round, but I got no problem with playing an early Psycho or an early Marty. But if I do that, I've got to get value for that move instead of not having it at the end. Because here's what the play is. The play is, let me make you use all of your stuff. I'll keep a couple of my things. And at the very end, I'm going to drop a whole lot of stuff that you can't do anything about. Right? I mean, that's pretty much how it's going to work out in one way or another. So the key to that is playing the beginning of the game like it's the end of the game. So if your opponent is saving everything to beat you at the end, then there's nothing wrong with dropping everything and getting a 200, 300, 400 point lead in the beginning and seeing if they got enough to outlast you. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to have somebody put me to sleep with a sleep arrow and lose a turn. I'm going to make them pay early. So, I'm not opposed to dropping Red Nolan early. I'm not opposed to dropping Rod early. In fact, I would probably be more prone to drop Rod in turn 1, cycle 1. I mean, why do I want to save Rod and Nolan for the very end of the match, when I can do basically the same amount of damage and the same amount of effect with it early in the match? So, but what I can tell you guys, I'm not leaving anything on the table. When I play a match, I guarantee you, both Martys are used, both Psychos are used, and all 4 blues are going to be used. So, here's the other thing. In most cases, a sniper, we have a sniper here, is going to target a starter. Now, I'm not opposed to using sniper page 3 in cycle number 3. If you use it early, it can hamper your opponent a little bit. But if you use it late, you can find out what they have left. So because of that, I'm probably going to use mine in cycle 2, just so I don't leave them on the table. But if I do that, then I've got to be prepared to deal with Nolan's at the end or Rod at the end. But here's my point. If I go super aggressive in the beginning and my opponent's not, then all I have to do at the end is mitigate their pets. Because you're sitting on a 300-point lead that your opponent plans to make up at the very end, then I'm just going to mustard bomb you to death. You better fizzle those mustard bombs. Because it's just going to be like, all right, I'm going to Magic Mike you, and you're always going to have mustard bombs. So you're going to have to play those Martys. So there's a lot of cat and mouse to it. But sometimes you wait, and you wait too long. Eli, that mother. I mean, hey, I'm not telling you guys how to go with it, but I wouldn't be opposed to having a designated mustard fizzler. I'll mustard you, fizzle you, dweezy you, and Magic Mike you. That would probably be like the most annoying combo in the world. Shoot, imagine that. Here you are, you got a strategy go in, take down a wall, and Limbo's like, man, I got so many Magic Mikes, watch this. And then Bounty Hunter is over here, and Deacon's over here. He's like, all right, let's see. What did they not Eli? And this dude back here is just going to be fizzle. I'm probably going to be, it won't even be same turn. You're going to be like a walking time bomb with me. Deacon's going to be back here. He's going to be like fizzle, ransom, mustard patch. All right. They don't Marty. Next turn. Fizzle Crowley. Mustard Buzz. I'd have a spreadsheet And then after like 3 turns, it's going to be detonate, detonate. Detonate, detonate. I mean, this dude back here might be detonating like 10 times before the end of the match. So Deacon's probably going to be my designated bomber. Literally. Now look, it all sounds well and good, but it comes down to execution. I could tell you 1,000 things to do. Doesn't mean they're going to be done at the right place, the right time. Practice, practice, practice. And I would say when the farm kicks off, use the first couple weeks to really mess around with different mechanics. What is a plumb arrow going to do? What do you want to do with Euclid? When do you want to save your abilities? Is that big counter move going to come into play? And I will say there are items out there that you guys have not seen in a long time that I do think that we're going to see. There's some great legendaries in play, and just don't forget about them. That's all. All right, man, we got Ray's like, pour another one. Unforeseen Mrs. Fido. I mean, see, here's the thing. Like, if I was playing chess, I'd be playing against myself, obviously. But, you know, I said earlier I would drop Ember. Well, then that means, you know, maybe Crowley's going to drop Azure. And then I waste my Ember. So that's a net of that's a net +1. Because I wasted that cast, and he just bounced it. And now it's the only legendary that can be in play. Or Limbo comes here, BT7, Patch is here, Crowley goes there, Bounty Hunter goes there, Patch psychos, Crowley plays purple on Deacon, and also drops Seal Smoke. These two guys both have Pet Repel. So Deacon takes that purple shot, so he's going to psycho that to prevent it. And Limbo, let's see, Limbo there. Deacon was on defense. So Jigsaw would be next to go. So I'm going to say Jigsaw would likely go. I'm not going to cast the Sleep Arrow. Just not going to do it. I do like the Sleep Arrow, but I refuse to use it. I'm going to probably go Plum Arrow. So I would play Red Dweezy and come over here. And I'm going to steal his brew. And then I would go Plum Arrow and not allow him the ability to cast Smokes. So I'm going to steal his healing potion and then take away his ability to cast smokes for a turn. So no seals, no heal and seal, and I just took away his best method of healing himself with Dweezy. And popped him for an extra 10, just for good measure. And then Ransom, who dropped the repel smoke. So now you got Buzz in an interesting situation. Because Buzz really doesn't know whether to try to save this person. So, you know what? Buzz might be, hey, we're in a tough situation. Let's go ahead and PvP it. Patch is in some trouble down here. And by the time I come out of here, they're going to be in some trouble. So now Buzz is just going to, round number 1, since they've been really going after Patch, he's going to go ahead and jump into Portal. Now if he jumps into Portal, here's the tough decision. You got all these people here with a health advantage. Who is this team going to choose to go in? They want to take 2 fresh people off the bench. They want to take Deacon, since he's got some mitigation. So you can see how the Portal would also be kind of a little bit of a breather. But yeah, I think there's a lot of going to be a lot of interesting gameplay. Some ocean smoke. But you know what? There's been some good questions tonight. Appreciate that, Killer Beasley. I know Ocean Man wants water. And I know why you want water. But I would say there is a likelihood that there will be some water mechanics in the game. A dance smoke. Dance bombs. I'm going to leave the dancing to you guys. I'm pretty confident, though, that when you guys get to the farm, look, you're still going to need gear to a certain extent. I don't think there's any PvP that you don't need to go in there and try to have the best gems, the best glyphs. Certainly anything you do is going to give you an advantage. With that being said, if you don't have all the gear, take advantage of all the things that make your character stronger. Many of you have legendaries. You know, case in point, Will's using, well, I'm not going to give you all Will's gear, but you know his weapon. You know he's using the chameleon. It's a great legendary. And Will has the ability to use that legendary. And if you've got a legendary or two, and even if you don't have the best gear, look for people in the game. First, look in your faction. Look in your faction with people that may have an extra piece of epic battle gear too. Or an epic battle card they might have just gotten out of a bundle. Maybe you picked up a Cyan AR-15 and it's just sitting there and you're not using it. And somebody else might need an AR-15. They might need that color. Hey, I'll trade you the Cyan for 2 of your epic battle cards. And now you got epic boots and you got epic shoulders. You may double the base of your character just like that. So, does a character like Father Ron need to be in full merc? No. But 3 or 4 pieces of merc with his box mask and with some of the other cooldowns he has gives you enough. Now, me personally, I'm going to drive Uber Eats and I'm going to have the best gear. I mean, it's just the way I am. So I want the best gear. I'm going to pick up a part-time job for 5 hours a week and I'm wearing merc. I mean, I'm sorry. It's the way I commit to games. And I'm not being not serious. I'm very serious. But I mean, I get it. Everybody's not going to be able to afford the best gear. I understand that. But I've always been that level of gamer. I've always been the level of gamer that's my that's my car. That's my movie. That's my dinner night. It's what I do. So, everybody's going to have different levels of entertainment. We got B-Dub. Thank you so much, B-Dub. Woohoo, I can't wait for the farm. I can't either. I can't wait to see you guys play it. And Julia Muse can't wait to play. And I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun. We got a pack opening event this weekend you guys know about. Not going to be as big as last week, but it is going to be as big with gear because you guys know about the Cosmic that's out there. We also have new items and legendaries that are going to be in play. And look, when in doubt, if I had Patch here, I mean, what do you guys think I'm going to do? Look, Limbo's here. All right. Who wants to make a guess of what I'm going to do when I have Patch here dead to rights? I mean, I'm probably going to put this bad boy here right on his face. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Cosmic, Max Payne, and we're not going to see Patch again. Sleep or stun? No. It's going to be different based on whether, I mean, it's a medic. If I'm a sniper and I can't take out a medic's a support class. Now, we got some really, really good geared medics. But you got to play the class the way I can't. Hey, look, I'm not a healing sniper. Where's Valar at? Valar, are you here? I see Moonshot. There, and there's Amanda. What about Trigger? Where's Trigger? Well, they do. But, the thing you got to realize, a sniper is a ranged warrior. Which, see, that's what's funny to me, because, like, our most feared players in the game are warriors. B-Dub, Gemstone, Julia, Deadly Dimes, Ocean Man. Most feared players in the game are warriors. Why are the most feared players in the game not snipers? I mean, just a general question. Like yet. Warrior. Sniper. All right. Go first turn. First turn. Drop pet repel smoke. And slide around the corner. Go either way. Drop pet repel smoke. Drop summon sage, and I'm going to throw a colada grenade at him. Look at this grenade bundle. How many people know what all these grenades do? Half the people in here said, "What the hell's a colada grenade?" So, pet repel smoke, Actually, you know what? Let me do this again. All right. I'm going to make this easier. Pet repel smoke, drop red aster, and throw a colada grenade. Sniper versus warrior. All right, so already on turn number 1, I'm surrounded by pet repellent smoke. I got a defensive pet that's going to eat your pet. And I just hit you for an AP3 with a stun 1. So let's just say he let it go through. So I've just hit him for damage. I'm defending against any petty cast. And I'm going to repel the next petty cast. Now, I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to get lag. And he's going to get in faction chat and he's going to ask everybody what the hell he should do. Hold on, I got lag. Because the bounty hunter just blocked my pets for the next 2 turns on turn number 1. There's a storm coming overhead. Only happens on Wednesday nights at about 9:45. And then when the lag goes away, he's going to say, "Oh, I meant to blue that colada you just threw. Now that I know it stuns me." All right, so here's the thing. Now he gets really one thing to do. So the play here is probably Unholy Grenade, which is okay, because the Unholy Grenade gets rid of the pet repel smoke, but I've already gained a 2-turn advantage on him, because he's going to get rid of the pet repel smoke, but he's not going to get rid of my pet. All right, so next turn. I'm likely going to drop Seal Smoke. So now I've got surrounded by Seal Smoke, still got my pet. And if I had a really good legendary, I might pop it here. But more than likely what I'm going to do here, sniper versus warrior. What's the play here on turn number 2? It's an obvious move. Let's see who would get this. So I've got smoke dropped, which is going to create a seal. I've already stunned him 1 time. No, not sleep arrow. See, this is good because it's going to show you guys where you're like really missing out. You don't have to be a sniper to answer this question. In fact, you should know what a sniper is going to do before they do it. You're right. Well, what am I going to take from him, Ray? No. I would SP3 here and take his Psycho. Because I'm going to set him up for a move on turn 3 or turn 4. So I've already stunned him. I have my pet as a defense mechanism for any silliness he wants to do. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a Seal Smoke. I'm going to steal his Psycho. So he has nothing to do to stop any of my bullets, any of my arrows, anything that I want to throw at him. Why am I going to throw an unholy arrow, when he's just going to psycho it anyway? I'm wasting my attack. So I'm going to go SP3, and I'm going to steal his psycho. And then I'm going to cast Stun Bomb. So I'm going to have Seal Smoke, Stun Bomb on him, and I take away the pet that he wants to take. So now he can hit me, which is okay. But if he tries like a Red Toxie or a Red Rex or a Red Finny, my pet's going to take him out, and then my Seal is going to protect me for another turn. So I've got really defense lined up, and I've got him struggling for anything that he would do to stop what I want to do. So now I've got his Psycho. So now you could pick any myriad of things that he wants to do. It's going to be pretty standard stuff. Like, he could attack a pet, which is fine. So pet for pet, we're okay. He could hit me, which will get rid of that Seal. So now we're going to be even. He should play any pet. So he plays Red Paw. You say, okay, well, Red Paw's going to get rid of your Seal. No, it's not. Because Red Paw's going to come in, and before it attacks, my Aster's going to eat his pet. So I'm still sealed. So now he's used his pet. He's going to go ahead and do any type of attack, which he should do. But it doesn't matter. He can do a weak attack. I'm going to throw a rock at you, get rid of your Seal. Fine. So now he is vulnerable. He has no pets, no seals. I have no pets and no seals. So this is where I put him away. He's a warrior. He doesn't have tank page 1. He doesn't have medic ability. He doesn't have a priest ability. So I've already taken all his mitigation away. Now I know I can hit him without any consequence. But you know what? He's a warrior. He still hits hard. So I'm going to go ahead and drop Seal and Thrill Smoke. So I've used Pet Repel. I've used Seal, which he just got rid of. Now I'm going to drop another Seal Smoke to put him on the defensive again. I'm going to have to break yet another Seal. And I'm going to activate Max Mask, and I'm just going to blast him for as much as I can possibly do. Then he's going to attack, break my Seal again, and then I'm going to go Buck, Frenzy, hit him again, and then probably, by that point, it's 4 rounds. In 4 rounds, I've got him down to the last 20, 30 points. So, Sniper versus Warrior, not impossible. Not the best matchup, not the easiest matchup, but certainly Snipers are they're the ranged warrior class. They can do everything that a warrior can do. Now, he could, warrior page 3, go in, break a weapon. But as you can see, I put him on the defensive. Like, right out of the gates. I'm going to take your pets out. Even if you charge in, well, I actually couldn't have because I was sealed the whole time. So if you charged in and does that move, you still got to get through the seal. All right. You know what? Hey, we've been 2 hours. I am going to... Oh, sorry, just got a question. I'm going to wind this thing down. Just wanted to hang out with you guys a little bit tonight. Had a great time. The state of the game, I think, is we're in such a good place. We've got stories and side stories and things that are going down Friday night. Inventory, I'm expecting to have you guys Friday morning. Luckily, you don't have a match till Friday night. So those of you that picked up bundles tonight, I will have all of your bundles, everything, 100%. Just a busy, busy week with the tournament and everything laid out. So most of you guys have a good idea, but we've got several bundles that need to be added to your inventory and then the packs from this weekend. So those of you that are keeping up with it and screenshotting, I appreciate it. So items to be deducted last Friday, PvP items to be deducted, and a whole lot of stuff to be added. And they're not sure if there will be a Walking Dead stream tomorrow night. Likely no. But there'll certainly be some Play Dead Live on Friday night. And I think you guys got a really, really good story. And as I said, it's not the end-all, be-all. I just have a certain way of thinking about the items. But, once again, let's go back to the grenade bundles. Magic Mike, one of the strongest grenades in the game. Hybrid, nobody uses them. It's a great cluster bomb, though. If you got a lot of sparks, it's perfect. Aqua, Moss, one stronger than the other. Certainly, there's a time to hit somebody with Moss. They can't do anything about it. You're going to see Rizzo, I think, played a lot more. I didn't even go into Xenon and the Father Sprinkles grenades. I think both of those in solo matches are super, super strong. In fact, I recommend you using Xenon in those single and double matches in the portal, because even if it's a even match and you're able to lower the base of your opponent, you're going to be in a better position. If they start out at 50 base and you hit them with 3 of those base busters, they're at 44 base. So if at the end of the match everybody finds a way to self-heal, you've done more with base busters, so by default you're going to win because you've deducted more damage from them. So I think the FS grenades, I think the base buster grenades are going to be good. Some are pretty straightforward. Chill and thrill combos I think are good. If you got a good tag team partner, you start to scale up their damage. So not everything has to be a TS-15 fully loaded. There are a lot of combination grenades out there that can get you close to that for 1 or 2 grenades. So, look into those. I think in panic mode, everybody says TS-15, with 5 of these, TS-15 with 5 of these. And then a week later, I hear like, oh my God, I don't have any grenades in inventory. Well, you just threw 70 grenades. And you probably could have thrown 4 thumpers, 2 TS-15s. I mean, I'm not saying don't use TS-15s. But I think that instead of using 5 a night, maybe use 2. And you start looking at some of those other grenades that are going to hit for 14, 15, and 16. Hopefully that makes sense. Cool. All right, everybody. I know it's a late night. Let's get everybody out of here. Julia, thank you so much. Very informative. Like I said, glad I can hang out with you guys in any little thing that I can do to help you guys out. I certainly want balance. I want you guys to use the items, be creative with the items. But another thing that I would use, if I'm warrior versus warrior, and I'm going solo, I am absolutely using that Roman grenade. I'm using class grenades. So think about that as well. You're sniper versus sniper. You certainly want to use the sniper grenades as well. Class grenades should be a big, should be something you're looking into. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Appreciate you guys hanging out, talking a little bit about the state of the game. I can't thank you guys enough for putting us in the position that we're at right now. We got a great story, a great contest, good leadership, good groups, good matches lined up. Friday night is going to be incredible. Pack opening this weekend, maybe 16 boxes. Could be a little more than that, but it's not going to be the 24. So we've got a few boxes already sold. It'll be a quick, fun event, and then we're going to get ready for the championship. But if you guys have any questions, shoot me a message, and certainly have a great night. A couple people messaged me about picking up bundles Friday night. So if you didn't pick it up tonight, and I don't know, maybe Friday's your payday, I'll put this bundle back up Friday night, And I'll show it to you guys again if you guys want to take a screenshot. So I did get a couple messages offline, and but yeah, that's it. And if you missed it tonight, I will put this one back up on Friday night, and of course we'll always have the grenade bundles for you guys as well. Thanks everybody, and start working on your dance video. You got 3 weeks to get that done. Talk to you soon, everybody. Peace.
Let's just dance, baby. I just wanna dance, 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 dance.